Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Now What Next Steps podcast here at Malibu Pacific Church. Hey, if you haven't listened to this past week's sermon yet, please press pause now and go listen to that sermon, because this podcast is really like an extended version of the sermon. So I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, so if you want to keep listening, by all means. All right, we have Andy here, everybody.
Hey, how you doing out there? Hello.
Absolutely, and it's me, Joel. And
I didn't hear anybody respond.
I know, it's weird. I want them to say, like,
okay.
hello? Are you there? Honk your horn right now.
There you go. Honk it. Glad you joined us. Glad
Absolutely.
you're here.
Absolutely. So we started off on a brand new series this past Sunday called Be Rich.
Yeah.
And this is our third Be Rich campaign at Malibu Pacific Church.
It's been really good.
It's been really awesome. And I want to just do a couple highlights over the years. We 2 years ago, we worked with Run Malibu, the half marathon.
That's right. That was great. They're still talking about it.
They're still talking about it. I had people ask us, because we know the people who run the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, is the church going to come again? That was so much fun.
I've ran into a few people at the Chamber of Commerce, and they're like, we did the run Malibu, and yeah, same thing. She was asking her, you guys, we loved it. We're so glad you guys joined in. We do it again.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to think about it again.
Maybe we got to do it again.
But the idea isn't to do the same, give to the same
totally
organization every year.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then last year we did the $39.95, and it went to Union Rescue Mission.
Yeah.
And in just one ask at that Sunday, $16,500.
Great.
And it was so awesome. We got to deliver that big check to Andy Bales and the team down at Union Rescue Mission. And then this year we did another ask for $39.95. We don't have the tallies yet.
Well, just so everybody's listening, we leave it open all week.
Oh, there
we want you to continue to give. And there's all week, and there's people watching online, or there's people who weren't here.
Yeah.
So you still have a chance. If you're listening to this, you still have a chance to give $39.95.
Absolutely. So what is that $39.95 for this year?
This year it's going to With Love, which is an organization new to me. Maybe you know more about it, but it's a grocery store in downtown Southwest LA, serving that area. Extremely poor area. They have a coffee house inside, quality food, and they've connected with 300 families that need a Thanksgiving dinner. And so we are going to help them provide. Our goal is 300 meals.
That's awesome.
For them. And we vetted them, and they have vetted the 300 people.
Yep.
So just to let y'all know, if you're, is it okay, or who's it going to? They have vetted it. That's the hardest part in nonprofits, is to find who do we give it to that we trust, that will get to the food and the money to them. And so this year it's With the Love. And John Kim is one of the organizers of that nonprofit, and he helps run that organization. He's also going to seminary. He's also a Stanford grad. He's a PhD, super sharp guy. And his wife, Loanne, teaches at Pepperdine.
Yep.
And so anyway, it's just awesome seeing how John is a part of a nonprofit in the organization, how he's helping them. And he told us about it, and we're like, yeah, we're in. Let's do it.
Absolutely. So we actually I got to go there about 7 years ago for one of the grand opening of it, which is really cool. Yeah. When the church burnt down back in 2007, they promised $500,000 to, I think it's Urban Impact in Los Angeles.
That's right.
And it was an offshoot of Urban Impact. So With Love Market.
Wow.
So they helped remodel that kind of stuff. But I remember Urban Impact, they're like, hey, you just lost your building. There's no way you can give us $500,000. But Malibu Pacific still did, and said, you know what? Yeah.
There you go, Malibu
right
Pacific.
there.
Yeah.
So literally they handed out the
huge.
They handed out the check on Saturday night at the gala, and it was the biggest donation. Sunday morning, church burns down.
Oh.
So, yeah. So they canceled service.
Ouch.
I know.
Yeah.
We still did it when we didn't have power, but I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, ouch. So that happened, and so we can't take the money, but they're like, no, this is what we do. We'll rebuild the building. Church is fine.
Keep going.
So keep going.
Keep being in mission. Yeah, it's in the culture of Malibu Pacific Church to be outward focused in mission, partnering with other mission organizations.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing with Be Rich, is we can't do everything, but we are partnered with Union Rescue Mission, with James Storehouse, and other Urban Promise and different organizations. If they're doing it better, why not go ahead and partner with them?
Absolutely.
A lot of times churches try to do everything, you just can't.
Totally.
So I didn't realize that all of that history.
Yeah, there's a lot of history there. And so it was really cool seeing the market. It's beautiful. They redid a whole space at like really old school brick building and just like totally gutted it, but made it look so awesome. And on
Nice.
top of that, it's a food co-op. People come and work there for free, kind of a deal. Do an hour of service, 2 hours, and groceries are free for everybody in that neighborhood. And so it's just this beautiful, beautiful
Wow.
thing
Yeah.
right there, like on the edge of downtown LA.
Yeah.
So it's actually still considered like downtown LA because it's in between the freeways, kind of a deal. So like
Yeah.
110 and the 10, it's still inside, like right there.
Okay.
And so it's just so awesome that what's going on. So that 39.85, we were going for 300 meals.
That was the goal. That is our goal.
For
But
Thanksgiving.
if we can get 600, we can provide meals for all those families at Christmas.
At Christmas too.
Yeah.
And I could feel in the room and online the generosity pouring in. Like I saw everybody. You're like, we don't want 100% of the money. We want 100% of participation.
That's key.
And I think that was one of the biggest keys to yesterday too,
Yeah.
was the participation part. And it was really awesome seeing everybody stay back. And I saw, almost everybody on their phones or going out to the, to the booth. And it was just time to be like, yes,
Let's
here
do
we go.
this.
Yeah. It was
so
awesome.
great.
Yeah. One
That's
of our past youth students who is now coming back to church
Yeah, I
here.
just met him. Yeah.
So you
yeah.
met Frank?
Yeah.
It was really cool. Yeah, he was in youth
I
group
know
with me.
Joel. I used to be in ministry with Joel. Yeah.
He was a punk kid. If you're listening right now, you're punk. No, I'm just kidding. He's awesome. And his family.
Great guy.
Yeah, amazing stuff. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to do it this year. I've never done it. $39.85. Here we go. And I just thought that was a big win. Coming
Also,
back to
another
church.
guy, brand new, and
Yeah.
he went up to the info table, and then he sat down in the back and just seemed to really be engaged. And then at the end, it said, "Hey, man, so glad you're here. Come back next week." And he was like, "Oh no, I'll be right back. I'm going to the car and getting my wallet."
Yeah. Love it.
I'll be right back. I'm getting my wallet. So he was
love
in.
it.
I was like, "Oh, awesome. We'll see you next week." So
good. That's so
quite.
good.
I mean, speaking of wins, I met a lot of people. I said, "Is this your first week?" I said, "No, this is my second or third week." And so
A lot of
a lot of
second and
people
third.
returners.
Yes.
So for the church growth people out there, it's about 1 to 2% when you do mass marketing, guerrilla marketing. I think it's 1%. You may know more about it. But when somebody comes back or comes back to your restaurant or comes back to a church or comes back for a second time, it's a 70% rate that they will be coming back. So actually the key, a win for us, is that people would come back with a friend. And actually I met a couple of families that did bring some friends. And so, but that's a win. But anyway, just to let you know, that returner is huge.
Yes.
It's a 70%, like when they come back a second time, 70% of people in business, industry, restaurants, churches say, I'll be coming back to this restaurant. I liked it.
Yeah.
And so having a return rate I don't know if that's the wrong word, but is really important.
We're running out of parking, that's for sure. People are parking all over the place, all up and down. Yeah. So maybe, we're going to chat about something here soon.
We may need to talk about that.
Yeah. So maybe a little more options, maybe a second service. Who knows? But you're hearing it here first.
Yep.
Awesome. So Be Rich kicks off. We have so many awesome opportunities to serve. But before we go into the opportunities, one of my favorite things in the morning, at 9:00, we always do a little like a little run through just to make sure transitions are good. And when you were going through your sermon, you're going through some of the slides. You're like, all right, I'm going to go in the scripture, and then I just want you to have the Be Rich behind me, the logo, because I'm just going to go 15 minutes. And it's not, and you
Maybe
said it's,
20.
and you're like, it's going to be boring. We all laughed. It's like, it's not going to be boring. He's like, I'm just going to talk about Jesus. I'm just going to, and the passion that I saw in you in that moment, because I think that's one of your biggest gifts, Andy, is that you know how to rally people and go like, hey, we're taking that mountain. Let's go together. We're all going together. And so those 15 minutes, it was just like this 20, it was like 23.
Maybe 23. I kept going. I could have kept going.
Kept going.
I kept thinking of other things. Yeah. And we all know the stories if you've been
Totally.
to church. Anyway, sorry.
No, but you just
If you hadn't
saw,
heard it, you would, every story I've mentioned, we all know it.
you just felt it in the room though, of like, hey, everybody's getting on the bus right now. Like you were just saying, the door's open. let's everybody get on the bus. And it was
That's
just
good.
this awesome moment.
It got quiet, so I wasn't sure if people were following. It
No,
got real quiet in there.
all I know is that
was-
this morning we had 2 pages of very small fine print of like people who gave the $39.85, and I think last year we only had 1 page, kind of a deal. And so
Oh.
I'm like, whoa, we
Oh.
got two pages. Like, this is pretty phenomenal.
Right.
So I don't look at any of those finances. I don't do it, but I know there's 2
Great.
pages, and that was a huge celebration and win.
Great.
And it's still open right now. So if you haven't given your $39.95, we
Yeah.
want to make sure that we get those 600 meals to downtown LA.
Now, let me say this. I don't think I was super clear on Sunday, so that's why we're doing the podcast. We'll pick an organization, a different organization every year just to bless them. It's like, who's doing it, you know, and let's just pour it out. But really the goal of 1 Timothy 6 is to teach them how to be rich, teach those rich people how to be rich.
Yes.
It's a great benefit that we're giving and providing for somebody, but really it's for us.
Oh, totally.
100% participation that we're practicing on how to be rich. We're actually going to practice being Christian. We're going to do this.
Totally.
So many churches, I think, just talk about it and it's theory or it's some theology or whatever, but you know, first Paul is being emphatic with Timothy as a young pastor, saying, and you got a lot of rich people in your church, you're gonna have to teach them. They don't know how to.
Yep.
And so teach them to be rich and be generous with their finances and in good deeds and serving one another, which is the hallmark of Christianity. And so it's really for us, just to let everybody know. I don't feel like I was super clear about that. We can get caught up. It's for this organization. It's great. We want to pick a good one. It's going to a great thing. But this is for us.
Totally.
Whatever the number is, the win is that there was 100% participation. That's a win for us.
Absolutely. It's like the mission trip bait and switch, you know, where it's like, oh, I'm going to go on a mission trip and I'm going to totally bless and change the whole world. And all of a sudden you come back just like
you're the one.
You're the one that's like, oh man, I needed to get some humble, you know, I needed this. And God, thank you.
Yeah.
And so I think I just talking with people on the patio afterwards too.
Yeah.
I had a pretty long conversation with someone who was just so thankful that they're like, I'm glad that I can be rich. I am so thankful to God that I can be rich. And we had that conversation for a solid 5 minutes there. Yeah. And he started asking me, you know, what are some of the things this church is doing to be rich in the community? Started naming some of the things, and I got to highlight. We had the Malibu Little League registration and kickoff.
A lot of people probably don't know that. Under the radar.
Yeah, under the radar. So Saturday night had over 175 people here on this campus registering for Malibu Little League. Derek Lee gave an inspirational, you know, little message in the sanctuary, and a lot of these people haven't been on this campus yet, and they were asking me a lot of questions about church. So I shared that with this person on the patio, and I said, "Hey, just to let you know, we also have our board meetings here." And he's like, "Whoa, you're getting to the heart of the community." And I'm like, "Yes, that's always the plan." And then I got to share our service project, one of the opportunities that we'd love for you to sign up for. We're going to Malibu Middle School, high school, for the first time.
This is going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be great.
We're going to do a beautification project.
Yeah.
Just whatever they need. Pull some weeds, paint some, you know, walls. I don't know.
Paint a wall, get some graffiti off the walls. I don't know. Just make it look nice. Yeah.
Exactly. So whatever they need. It's just for 2 hours. And we're going to the community. And it's awesome because the principal there is like, absolutely, please come. And it's been really amazing because we're getting these really great connections with all the principals in all the Malibu campuses. And we're even getting on like emails from things that are coming up. Like we have a Snow Much Fun event and it's already getting publicized, which is just so awesome. And
tell people about that. What's that? That's in January because Little
December.
Insider. Yeah, I mean, sorry, December.
December, there we go. January. It's all good.
It's in January. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, it's great. It's going to be a great community thing, I think.
Absolutely. So we got to share that with the Malibu Little League here on Saturday night, and there was like cheers and flyers. People already said, like, I'm not. You can ask my wife Shannon. She was like, "Wow," they were excited because, you know, are you tired of, you know, not looking at the ocean while you're sledding? You know, we were gonna have 15 tons of snow and 2 sled runs, one for little kids, one for everybody else. Yeah, and it's gonna be a night of community building and just saying, "Hey, we're for Malibu." Yeah, and so all these
for
little
families, for the families, and And whenever you invite a friend, just let you know, for one of these events and they get on campus, they think about it. And when there is a problem, an emergency, a difficulty, or Christmas and Easter people, they will say, I'll go to that church because I know where the parking is and I know where the restrooms are and I know what the main building is. I know where to go. So the first outreach, we have the whole digital piece, but I think the other one is just have the unchurched people just get on campus, just to walk around and do things for the community. Because that creates familiarity. And anyway, it is an outreach, actually.
It's
the first step.
I had so many people on Saturday night go, can I go in that building? Is that okay? And of course,
fall on me?
like,
I haven't been in church in 38 years, and so I don't know if will the building fall down.
I was like, well, you know what? You shouldn't go in there. Yeah, you're not welcome.
It's going to cave in.
It totally is. Well, they also were like, well, but I'm not supposed to because I'm not a religious person. I'm like, hey, you're welcome here. I just want you to know that. You see that sign out there that says
church is for
everybody in every story. Hey, you're welcome here. And so they walk in and they see like the movie theater setup and they're like, this is beautiful. I didn't know this was here. And I had a really great conversation with one person in particular. And he said he hasn't been to church in a really long time. And he's not really a church person, but he said this place feels different and asked me when the service times are. Then him and his wife were like, hey, you have youth group here. I grew up with youth group. What time is youth group?
Wow.
And so I told them about youth group.
Wow.
They'll be at youth group this week.
Wow.
And so I'm just like, yes. Open up the campus. It's for the community, you know? Anyway, so
that's
just
really good.
And so for Be Rich and these kinds of things, I feel like this season is just a rich season.
Well, it forces us to get out of these four walls. I mean, the church is meant all the way from the beginning was a movement. People on the way. They weren't called Christians. They were defined as people on the way. So Christianity is a movement. Some of the worst things we could have done is, and I love our building. They're beautiful. It's gorgeous. View of the ocean in Malibu.
Doesn't suck.
It doesn't suck. We may need to edit that. But anyway, it's true. But I wonder if sometimes the buildings were the worst things that happened to Christians.
Ooh.
Because it makes us stuck. And then we put all our finances and energy into the buildings.
Yeah.
And then it becomes very easily, we become inward focused.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I still want to eat and live indoors. I still love coming indoors because there is a little wind in Malibu now and then. So, so inconvenient. But the weather, I'm thinking the weather here this week is supposed to be 74, 75, 76. Sorry, East Coast. But anyway.
Snowstorms and everything.
We have a little wind. It gets a little hot in the sun outside.
I should bring a light jacket.
I have no idea. Yeah, we get a little spoiled here. But I'm wondering also, as beautiful, as wonderful as it is, we need to keep fighting the inward gravitational pull to take care of ourselves. So Be Rich is a big extravaganza, generosity, get out of these four walls, be outside. This is what the churches should be doing. This is our call.
Absolutely.
And sometimes I think getting it going, you're pulling, I think our inward, take care of me. It's very American. It's very American church.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad we do it. But at first it feels like you're dragging the organization out of this inward focus. It's like, no, we're going to Be Rich and let's go. So maybe I don't know. All of you were quiet on Sunday. So I don't know if you were thinking or bored or I don't know what, but
the AC was working. So it felt good.
Felt good inside.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I think it's not just for you. It's for all of us. For me, as Christians, take care of me. And, so Be Rich it's prying our hands open and reminding us again, this is the hallmark of Christianity is to serve and to give.
Totally.
So that's why we're doing it. Hopefully everybody will continue to participate.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of ways to participate, actually. We have working or serving at the Malibu High Junior Middle School. They're combined. That's what
Yeah,
we say
say it
that.
one more time. So next weekend.
Next weekend, November 12th, right
Yeah.
after service,
Yeah.
12 to 2 p.m. We'll get out at 11:10, 11:15, go grab a Subway sandwich or something, or whatever, bring a sack lunch, and we're just going to head straight to the high school. There's parking lot. You'll see the giant parking lot.
Yeah.
And we'll meet there, and we're going to do some beautification projects for 2 hours. So maybe even bring some painter's clothing or something
There
like
you go.
that. You can wear your Sunday's best. That's cool, whatever
good.
you want. And then the week after that, we have our food drive that's happening as well. So this food drive has been happening for over 40 years with
Wow.
Malibu Pacific
Wow.
Church. So down at Ralph's, and now we're adding one too, a local business, Vintage Grocery on the other side of
Nice.
Malibu,
Great.
Malibu West. We are going to be at both of those grocery stores,
Nice.
which is really awesome. And so really, really exciting stuff like that.
Let me
too.
add one more.
Yeah.
We just got confirmation, November 29th.
Cool.
We at lunch, we're going to be serving lunch to the city employees
Of
employees
Malibu.
of Malibu.
Yes.
And just to thank them for working, being city employees. And so a lot of them travel a long ways to come to work here. And just want
Absolutely.
to say thank you for all that you do.
Yeah.
So just wanted to bless you. So if you're able to come down and really join in and just greet and
Yeah.
thank and represent the church,
Mhm. yeah.
that'd be great. You'll get a little more information. That's at the end of the month, but
Yep.
that was finally the time we were able to confirm with them.
Mhm.
So mark it on your calendars. You'll hear more about it, but November 29th. Yeah.
We're really feeding Malibu, like City Hall, like all the employees, everybody.
All of the employees.
Even
yeah.
the ones that gave us permitted. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Just kidding. Every single
we
person.
will love everybody.
Absolutely. We got the buildings built, so thank you.
Yes.
It's awesome. With that, there's so many ways to be rich. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or hand gestures, please send them my way or Andy's way too, because we want to get you plugged in with all the amazing things that are coming up. Because in a blink of an eye, it'll be Christmas time. I already feeling it right now.
Yeah.
That just a couple weeks right now, it's Thanksgiving again, and then it's Christmas, and we have a lot in store for this Christmas season. So it's time to be rich, give back, and then during the Christmas season, we get the best gift of all, and that was Jesus being born. So
That's
we
right.
get to sit there and celebrate.
Yeah.
And boy, are we going to celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that said, please share this podcast with people that you know who need to listen to this. Invite people to church, and we're just really excited that it's the month of Be Rich. All right. We'll see you next week. And also, don't forget to smash that subscribe button so that this downloads automatically to your device. Thank you again for listening to Now What Next Steps podcast. I'm Joel, and that's Andy. See you next week.
Take care.